There's a version of your life that looks completely fine from the outside. You are showing up and showing out and putting on the performance of your life. People around you would describe you as confident, reliable, and well put together. And secretly, you are tired. It has nothing to do with the amount of sleep that you're getting. I know that exhausted feeling because I've lived it for years. And I want to talk about where it comes from and how I stopped performing. Most of us, especially me, learned very early how to please people, whether it was our mother, our father, friends, boyfriends, husbands. We learned how to adjust ourselves based on what was needed, give people what they're looking for, and make it look effortless. I really got good at this. I could walk into any office or meeting and just feel the energy, and I knew exactly what to deliver. I knew how to perform brilliantly, I might add. And for a long time, I started to believe that what I was doing was what confidence was. What do they say? Fake it until you make it. I think I really took that to heart. But here's the thing. I learned that there's a difference between being real and authentic and performing and faking your way through it. When you are performing, you live in the fear of being found out. You may come up against a situation where someone can see the cracks in your facade and call you out, and you are totally exposed. So you over-prepare, you always over-deliver, and you stay in constant control, because if you're out of control, your self-worth comes into question, and you can't let them see you sweat. Or so I thought. I worked in several male-dominated industries, including car dealerships, commercial real estate, mortgage, and finance. And I learned how to show up confident and in control without coming across as threatening. I also knew how to be warm and personable without being too submissive. I learned how to go with the flow and ignore the crude language and remain professional at all times. That became my superpower. And boy, did I have it down. And what I didn't understand for a long time was how much of me was absent. Believe me, the performance was there. The strategy was there. But daily I was losing my soul. I didn't know it at the time because I was so busy keeping the facade going that nothing else mattered. As a single mother, I believe I had to be both mother and father to my son. You know, I didn't want him to see me as weak or lacking in confidence. I wanted and had to set the example to be strong and successful, so I thought. I believed if I performed well in those industries, that my son would be proud of me, that I was able to succeed despite being a woman. Again, gosh, it was all about performing, even for my own son. It wasn't until much later that I knew I just couldn't do it anymore. I truly felt like a failure because I wasn't being true to myself. The truth is, I didn't even know who I was because all I knew was the performer. No one taught me how to be true to myself. No one taught me how to love myself. And no one taught me that love, validation, and safety that I was searching for on the outside of myself has always been on the inside of me, just waiting to be acknowledged. You know, I talk a lot about the teachers that I have learned from in the books that I've read. And one of them is by Derek Grant. And he talks about this same situation in the 7 Laws of Healing the Inner Child. And when I read it, it really hit me hard. Because he talks about how so much of the performing we do goes all the way back to childhood, to the inner child, to the version of us that learned very early in life that being who we were really didn't feel safe. So we adjusted and we shrank and we became what people required and what the room required. And we got so good at acting and performing that eventually we forgot that it was something that we learned and a part of that programming. We started believing, I say we a lot, and I'm talking about me, but we started believing that the performance was our personality. It's who I was. But here's what I know now from actually living it. When you slowly start stepping away from the performance, your energy returns. Now, it's not all at once. At least for me, it was slowly and very gradual. And it just felt wonderful because what's left is not the performance of you, not the version trying to hold everything together, just you. And now here's your question for the week. Where in your life are you performing instead of actually being? It might be in a relationship, at work, in how you show up on social media, or with your family, or even how you talk to yourself. You already know where it is. Just observe it. You don't want to change anything just yet. Just notice it. Episode 5 is the last in the series, and it's one that I've wanted to make from the very beginning. It is about what it actually means to choose yourself. If you haven't done so, please subscribe so you don't miss the very last episode. And the free download is in the description. The 10 questions to ask yourself before your next chapter, along with the book by Derek Grant that I referenced earlier, that will also be in the description. Please check them both out and see what comes up for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the final episode.